growing up in Singapore, I've never thought of becoming a millionaire. Well, that's a lie. I have daydreamed about it, but I've never really entertained the thought seriously because my worldview was just earn 4 to 5k can already what, can survive, because that's the average that most people will earn anyway. And that mindset is probably what's stopping most people because firstly, they don't even believe it's possible, and secondly, they've never actually run the numbers on how to actually become a millionaire. But since creating my YouTube channel 3 years ago, I've been crunching numbers non-stop so often that I realized that it's actually not that difficult to become a millionaire in Singapore on a 9 to 5 salary. Over the last 7 years of managing my own personal finance and investing, I was able to come up with a system that will allow me to become a millionaire relatively easily. So in this video, I want to share that with you guys because one day I want to flex that I created 100,000 millionaires in Singapore. So if that sounds exciting to you, let's go! So for most people, they simply just don't believe that they can become millionaires because nobody in their family has ever done it, or they simply don't have any millionaires in their circle of friends. That's just how it is, right? It is not a reality that you have ever been exposed to. And when you're just earning an average salary of $4,000 to $5,000 a month, $1 million just seems like a million miles away. Like literally, it's so far away that you cannot even imagine it. And because of that, it remains a pipe dream for most people, unfortunately. Their mindset, the thought processes, and the limiting money beliefs that they grew up with totally blocks their way from achieving anything close to $1 million. After all, they've never seen this happen in their lives, so to them, this is their version of reality. And when you've never experienced that reality, it's obviously going to be close to impossible to achieve it unless you get really lucky. And I even recently put out a poll on my Instagram at Shuenkai365, and that's where I post my daily thoughts and insights, so follow me there if you're interested. But I recently asked people whether they think they'll become millionaires, and shockingly, a lot of people actually voted that they will actually become one. But you want to know what I really think? I think these people just voted yes because nobody wants to be the person who says, I can't do it lah. They rather be, just be a bit delusional. I'm not sure how I'll get there, but I'll just say that I can do it. But if you actually set them down and ask, so what's your plan to becoming a millionaire? Can you tell me more about it? Most people will probably give the cliche answer of, just work hard, save more money, and then invest lor. That's how people become millionaires what. Then I'll just do that lah. And that kind of answer without the specific details is exactly why I know that they are unlikely to ever achieve it. Hell, even when I was doing free consultations for some people, I got a sneak peek to look at some of their investing portfolios, and I'm quite sure that a lot of them will have so much difficulty actually reaching $1 million. But the worst part is they don't even know it. So that's why in this video I want to run through the exact math of how you're going to reach it, because once you see it, you can't unsee it anymore. So you're welcome, and honestly, it's actually not that far out of reach as what most people think. And that brings us to the math behind becoming a millionaire. So one of my grand missions of my YouTube channel is to inspire 100,000 Singaporeans to invest $100,000 confidently, which equates to $10 billion freaking dollars. So much money that you can't even count the zeros, you just get lost. But just in case you guys don't know, it's actually 9 zeros. I visualize it in my mind every single day. That's why I'm so inspired and excited to say this every time I'm on my camera and film these YouTube videos. Because whenever I think about that vision, it just fills me with so much passion and excitement. Woo! And why did I specifically choose this $100,000? And I'll tell you why. There's a very important reason. Because that's exactly how much money you need invested to become a millionaire relatively easy before you hit the retirement age of 65 years old in Singapore. So are you ready? Here's how it looks. Assuming you are 30 years old this year and you invested $100,000 and not another dollar after that. Leave it compounded for the next 30 years at a very conservative return of just 8% every single year, you will potentially become a millionaire by 60 years old. And I really like this because number one, it's super passive and simple, just investing into broad index funds that can bring you average returns for a long period of time. That's really the secret to anything. This is perfect for people with average salaries in Singapore because all you have to do is to consistently invest, and that's it, right? And the best part, you are likely going to invest more than $100,000, so you actually have the potential to reach a multi-million dollar status without having to climb over a huge mountain and start a business, start something risky on the side that so many other people are doing. But if you don't have the stomach to do it, you can still reach it, right? It is not game over for you. That's the most important thing, right? It's the most exciting thing. Isn't it crazy that normal people can become multi-millionaires relatively easily as well? Well, I'm giving you guys the blueprint here, so if you don't follow it, this is on you, right? And I know exactly what you guys are thinking because someone recently asked me this at my first in-person masterclass as well. Hey, but we all have our families to feed, kids to send for non-stop tuition, and old parents that require us giving allowances every month. Not everyone will have $100,000 just sitting around to invest, and I thought about that question for a long time, and this is my solution. Let's assume you invest immediately as a guy who came out from university straight away at 25 years old. You start with a $5,000 investment, which isn't too much. Some people might even have more, and then all you have to do is break it down into a daily goal, which is to invest $20 a day. $20 a day is pretty manageable for a lot of people. In fact, most people spend more than $20 a day on their food and drinks, and even more so on recreational activities, right? So $20 a day will become $600 per month, which will be $7,200 a year. And if you leave it invested for the next 9 years, you will eventually reach a potential portfolio of $107,000 invested. So all you need to do, invest from 25 years old all the way to 34 years old, and you can stop. Don't invest a single dollar, and yet you have the potential to become a millionaire once you hit 65 years old. Or rather 64 years old if you take 30 years in that sense. That's how simple it is to become a millionaire through investing. But of course, this is not your reality because you haven't been exposed to this yet due to your environment or maybe even your family. I've often found that the fastest way to change your behavior and break your reality box is to surround yourself with people who are different but just a few steps ahead of you. That way you will slowly start to learn their habits and become the person that you really want to be. And that's exactly why I created my free Telegram channel, to house this group of individuals like you, people who are passionate, who are hungry, who are driven, and who really want to learn about personal finance and investing and really get their things sorted so that they will be set for life for financial freedom and retirement in the future. Plan is obviously to constantly inspire each other, for you guys to constantly have this flow of my YouTube videos coming in, telling you guys, teaching you guys, reminding you guys of what to do in terms of your personal finances. I'm not a personal finance guru or anything, but I am a personal finance enthusiast, and I love sharing about the things that I'm passionate about and excited about that can potentially help people to change their lives. That inspires me more than anything else in the world. So if that sounds exciting to you, feel free to join the first link in the description box down below. However, talk is cheap and it's easy to set goals, but the devil is really in the details and the execution, which brings me to the 3M framework that I've developed for myself to become a millionaire in the not so far away future. In fact, I'm quite sure I'll hit this $1 million status probably in the next few years, but that's a whole different video itself. I'll make it when the time comes again. So the 3M framework is relatively simple. The very first M stands for managing your money. Managing your money is by far one of the strongest and most fundamental skills that I was emphasizing so much in my most recent masterclass. Why? Because there's no point in investing or even making more money if you don't have the basic skill of saving your money. Even if you earn 10k a month, but you fall prey to lifestyle inflation, you buy a car, you buy a condo, whatever it is, and you end up spending $12,000 a month, you are still poorer than a guy who just earns an average salary of $5,000, but he saves $3,000 so that he can invest every single month. So managing your money is super essential to your personal finance foundation, and it's also relatively easy to do. Every purchase that I make sure to log it into the wallet app on the iPhone, and at the end of the month, I put all the expenses into a budgeting spreadsheet that looks like this. So by doing this, I'll know roughly how much I'm spending every single month, and if I have to cut something or I'm spending a little bit too much on something, I just look at the highest expenditure and cut it by a few $100s to optimize maximum efficiency. Easy peasy, nice and cheesy. The second M will stand for multiplying your money, which essentially just means to invest your money. So all the examples we used just now for the math to become a millionaire is all based on an 8% annual return. This 8% return is actually from an index fund like the S&P 500, which just contains all of the US biggest companies. 8 to 10% is the historical return over the last 20 to 30 years, and while the past results obviously do not indicate of definite confirmed future results, it is the best evidence that we have for now until proven otherwise. So I've automated my investing really nicely for the last year or so, and every month I invest $2,000 into the CSPX stock on Interactive Brokers. Every month, without fail, it just buys into the S&P 500 for me through the platform, and it takes my emotions and friction out of the entire process. I really love this way of investing, and I totally swear by it, and I practice what I preach because I want my investing to be as passive as possible. I'm okay to earn average returns because I know that just me being consistent for a long period of time that I showed before will potentially turn me into a multi-millionaire without a lot of effort. Wouldn't you pick this path as well? Why would you pick the path that's so difficult? So many people have tried and so many people have failed. and they don't get any result. Why would you pick that? That's called gambling, right? So the potential pitfall here is the temptation to try not to outsmart the market and trade here and there so actively and waste all my time and energy. I'd rather save the energy for the very last M that I'm the most excited for. And the last M stands for monetize, which means to increase your income as much as you can. So for me, obviously, this comes in the process of my YouTube channel. This very video that you guys are watching makes me money through AdSense, which is just the advertising money that YouTube pays us as YouTubers. AdSense is obviously not how I make the bulk of my money, but by coming out with YouTube videos, I help to build my personal brand, it builds my reputation, and hopefully since I've been doing it for so long, it builds trust with you guys as well. I've been showing up here for the last 3 years, so I think I'm collecting some dividends nowadays as well, as more and more people recognize me and people, come for my classes and stuff. So it's as if you have a friendly neighborhood Abeng that just comes to talk to you in his singlet, talks about personal finance, and just keeps nagging at you to stay invested consistently so that you can hit your goals of financial freedom. I must say that I've also honestly underestimated this trustworthiness and consistency just because I wasn't seeing too much of the results in a monetary form in the last couple of years. But recently I started in-person masterclasses and I've been proven otherwise actually. I made around $8,000 to $9,000 just in a month of selling out 2 masterclasses, and that just totally blew my mind. And the crazy part is I know that I'm just getting started because I have so many more ideas brewing at the back of my mind. I want to do more street interaction short form videos to go viral. I want to build a team. I want to do more classes and mentorships where I can mentor people to become proficient with selling options. All those ideas, they keep me up at night sometimes that I cannot even sleep. I can't even explain this excitement to you guys. I hope it comes through the camera. There are honestly endless business ideas that I can spin out of my brain nowadays, and it's really going to help to skyrocket my income so much. So for you guys as well, I hope you experiment and try out as many ways as possible to earn more money, especially those that you are curious about. Because when you're curious and you're excited, that's going to help to fuel you when things get tough. And believe me, in entrepreneurship and in the process of making money, things can get really, really freaking tough. I'm obviously speaking from experience here. So if you have these 3 M's in place, investing $100,000 will seem like chicken feet after a while. You will likely have the potential to make multiple millions in your life, and of course by watching this video, I want your takeaway to be believing that it's possible to become a millionaire and properly utilizing the 3M framework to help improve your personal finance and investing. Hopefully this video has helped to inspire you guys to become a future millionaire, because I want 100,000 of you guys to become my future millionaire flex, and I can say this to people in the future. If you enjoyed this video here, then you might just enjoy this video here as well. Thanks for watching, have an amazing day as usual, and I'll see you guys in the next few videos. Bye bye.